Well, hello, sentient beings, non-sentient beings, YouTubers, non-YouTubers, and those who have been using their what's it called, Cansema suppositories. Yep, those people sticking the black salve up their ass big time. This is the cult chaser, Monika's ghost. Now, I have to just declare a couple things before we start this video. I am very warm and fuzzy. At first, I honestly thought maybe, Monika, Milka, that you didn't like me at all. I mean, you won't accept my flowers, you won't accept my chocolates, you won't take my long-distance phone calls. I mean, I was about to get on a plane. I didn't know what to do. I'm so obsessed. And then all of a sudden, you wrote this post. Ta-da! This note at Monika's entity verified. Little check. Okay? And I thought to myself, oh my gosh, she's trying to imitate me. It's so cute. Monika's entity's trying to be like Monika's ghost. I felt so warm and fuzzy, and then I knew you do love me. I knew it. But unfortunately, I'm going to point out some real big problems with what you've done here, okay? But we'll get into that in a minute. Also, I thought maybe I'd ask, and this is a serious question. I mean, it may sound snarky, but I'm serious. What happened? Did you go like on a week sobriety and then you fell off the wagon? Because, honey, you need to go back, drop the bottle, and go back and get your AA week chip. Because, yeah, you have this, like, pendulum swing of actual coherency, even though it's still crap, to complete incoherency that just really is disturbing to me. And now, in all seriousness and beyond the jest, I point this out because a person who's concerned about other people's duty of care, I don't think should be doing any kind of health practices on anybody in the population, on any clients whatsoever, when they seem to swing between complete and total self-annihilation and the ability to kind of sound like they know what they're talking about. Okay, and one last thing. When you link to an article, maybe you should read the motherfucker. Just saying. I mean, that's something I've been noticing. So try that, would you? But anyway, let's get into the post. So Monika's entity on Friday, July 15th of 2016, puts up this note in her notes, and it's got a cute picture at the top, or what she thinks is a cute picture. I think it's kind of icky myself. And she writes this incoherent, rattling, babbling title. Seems more like he was bought to me. M-E. I realize, I think, that why she is called Monika's entity, because she likes to write me in capitals. You know, I'm sociopathic, Monika. Hacking into people seems to me more like black salve saved his ass big time. Now, if you don't know what she's talking about because you haven't had a chance to actually read what the fuck is going on around here, part of the problem with what she's done here and trying to do the snark is that she hasn't given you the information for the snark. It's not very fun when somebody talks like this when you have no fucking idea what they're talking about. Right? And usually a snark starts at the top. You kind of write what you mean, right? But she's not doing that. She starts with something completely different, and then she, at the ass end of the post, puts in who she's talking about. And in this case, she's talking about a post from Black Sabbath's Dangerous Quackery, which is a great Facebook page that I just joined. So I want to thank you, Monika, in all honesty, for leading me to them, because this is going to be awesome information. He's got all kinds of great, she, I don't know, they, the shadowy they of Black Sabbath, has all kinds of information up there, and I'm hoping to get that to help lead me to some really great stuff. And she, they put up a post about Dr. Frederick Moe, who actually first used Black Sabbath in a clinical surgical setting. And a little bit of a blurb on some of the things he did. This isn't everything. There's a few other things that you can add in there that I've read about. But he did 30 years of work with Black Sabbath and found out that it was completely wasteful, that he was wasting his time. Now, this is what I call a reasonable human being. I mean, obviously, by the name of the page, Black Sabbath is Dangerous Quackery. This person is very concerned about Black Sabbath, and it is Dangerous Quackery. I don't think there's much else you could say about that. This isn't a frothingly anti-whatever page. It's somebody who I think has done enough research, and they're very concerned about people being hurt, and I'm cool with that. There's a few things in there I might not agree with, and I don't know, we'll see. But I haven't gone all the way through there, and I'm not going to like just attack them just because they put up some information on Mo's surgery. Now, this is what Monika is going to be snarking about. So take a minute to read that. You can pause here. We'll turn the page when we're done. Ding, that kind of thing. Unpause when you're ready to listen to my annoying, cuss-filled voice again. Did you read it? Did you read it? Did you read it? Oh, good. Here we go. Okay. Cutting the cancer back progressively. Are you serious? Yeah, he's serious. That's what he did. It's actually a very common variation on radical tumor removal and cancer removal. I had it done for my breast cancer. They removed what they could, and instead of removing any of my breast, went in and did kind of a biopsy type surgery, and then we did some other stuff instead so that I could keep my boobs. So yeah, it works, and it's okay. And yeah, it's serious business, bitch. Just so you know. Okay? Let me guess, he had a more lucrative offer. He doesn't perform surgery anymore. See, now here's where you're trying to do like the snark that I do with you, where you're going to kind of ad hom and say, oh, well, the person has no character. Well, if you're going to ad hom, and ad hom can be used quite successfully if you actually have evidence that the person is an idiot, that they've done an idiotic thing, that their character is suspect. Guess what? Your character is suspect, and that's why it works when I talk about you. But when it comes to Dr. Mo, he worked for 30 years with Black Sabbath. He really gave it the old punt. He did. But you're not going to look at that part and say, wow, he used it for 30 years. It still didn't work the way that it was supposed to, or the ideas that he had. Maybe there's a problem. Nope. Now he is participating in making imposter statements as such. What is it called? And then, what is it called? I don't know. Is this like the pause where you'd be like, dun dun dun, which I like us to put like the music in here? What is it called? Dramatic pause. Add a reel or something. Let's go back for a second. What is it really called? Aldara. Not or something. Aldara. Okay. So once again, we show that you can't even, if you're going to snark out, honey, okay, and you're going to use like actual names of things, your best bet is to know what you're talking about before you stick it out there, okay? And since you didn't know what you were talking about, and sometimes I do it too, okay, I'm just going to give you the benefit of the doubt this one time, because I've done it. At least you got the A right, and you got, let's see, there's an A, there's a D, there's an R and an L. You got that right. Otherwise, you fucked it all up. I've done it, but you have to be ready to eat crow. You have to be ready to come back and say, oh, it was called this instead, and I must not have gotten it right. But the fact that you did not know it means that as a health practitioner who graduated with honors from the homeopathic college of the empty storefront between the Pokey Lounge and the multi-level car park, you should know how to look this crap up, and you should understand it. Sorry, I back up. Breathe in, use your words, breathe out, calm down. I can't, because you're supposed to have a medical background, but you don't even know where to go to look for the information or the correct name of a drug that you're about to snark on. Then you say, the one that ate off the face nose. No, I don't. Because first of all, you got the name wrong. And then second of all, it didn't. I looked it up. Now, I may have missed it because I looked under mostly information of how Aldara was used properly within the bounds of the prescription. So if there's some other place where somebody like slathered it on and then started it on fire and it ate off the face nose, you let me know. But I didn't find it anywhere. And then you say, surely you have heard about it, the one that the AstroTurfers trolls keep referring to. Would you stop this shit? This AstroTurfers trolls crap, okay? It makes you sound like a fucking paranoid, schizophrenic conspiracy theorist, okay? And I know, because I was one for many years. And that's how we sounded. We sounded like idiots, because we make up these words. AstroTurfers. Trolls. Don't troll me. Don't astroturf me. Don't flame me. Okay? Why don't you just say who they are? And it's not astroturfers with an apostrophe. It's just astroturfers. Okay? The plural thereof of astroturf. Or astroturfer. It doesn't belong to the astroturfer. Just so you know. Okay? So when snarking, it would be best if you just tried not to use the apostrophe so much. Just thought we'd mention it. So anyway, so then you say, except they're trying to twist it so that you will think that it was black salve, playing on the words just to confuse you. Well, what the fuck did you just do in this entire thing? This entire, I don't know would you call it a sentence or a group of sentences? I would call it a paragraph if it made any sense. You couldn't get the name right, so how would we know if that's the one? So obviously, if you want my opinion, I should say obviously, obliviously, I think you made up what you said. Because I did not find one reference to any astroturfer as, or troll as, trying to convince anybody that Aldara is the same thing as black salve. Not even close. Nothing. No reference to them together making, you know what I mean? Like that people are trying to say it's a fake black salve or that it is black. None. Zero. Zip. There is zillions of pieces of information on the webs and I didn't find one again. So maybe I just missed it. I mean, there is zillions of pieces of information, but still missed it completely. So then we go to the bottom and then we say, the one that ate off one's face was all pharmaceutical. Give us some bullshit names. Give us the one that ate off one's face. Why don't you just say this Adderall or something? The one that what the fuck? Put down the brandy bottle, honey. Stop drinking the vodka out of the freezer. Stop hiding your whiskey bottles under the sink and just come back to AA. Okay? I'll make sure there's chocolate and flowers. Get your weak chip. Because seriously, not only does this not make any sense and it's retarded and it's a way of being vague booking the situation, if you want me to throw out some jargon, but then you say was all pharmaceutical. Okay. Oh, so you didn't do anything pharmaceutical in your school of the abandoned storefront. Nothing. Nothing. Because you know what? When you create your little RX and then you slap it on your butt 50 times or 100 times or whatever it is, on the elastic yet giving, whatever it is, that's pharmaceuticals. Pharmacy. You are creating a remedy. Whether it is made by the big pharma or not, you are creating a remedy, is being created to give in dosing in a medicinal way to another human being. Or maybe even yourself. I don't know. That's pharmaceutical, baby. That's pharmacy. Okay? Dramatic pause. And so you can take time to think about that. Have you thought about it? Have you thought about it? Have you thought about it? That is what happens when you happen. Here we go again. No, it's not. The happens doesn't own that. Happens with no apostrophe. When you try and make it in a man-made way and all. And all what? Man, I think man-made way covered it. Except for that, here's the thing, is that all pharmaceuticals have to be man-made. Okay? Because there isn't a special kangaroo in your country that goes out and picks the bloodroot for this black salve and goes out and picks the oleander, which is one of the other ingredients in the original, the Cansema, and picks these other things up and brings them to you and hands them to you all mished up and maxed up and throws them in the air and says, "Here we are, Monika. Here we are, Monika Milka. I made this so you can distribute it to the world." No, it's all man-made. Stop. It's all man-made. I can't even imagine. Could you please do me a favor? Tomorrow morning for breakfast, eat a dictionary. Oxford would be nice. The Oxford Dictionary. A little bit of syrup, but please don't wash it down with the liquor from under the sink. Okay? Then you say, synthetic just does not cut it. Really? What the fuck do you think zinc chloride is in DMSO? What do you think they are? They are derivatives. They're chemical derivatives. And they can be synthetically cloned, I guess you'd call it, is the word. I'm missing my words there, a few of them, in a laboratory. They're synthetic. They're removed from the natural environment, and their chemistry is altered somewhat, and then distributed. And you stole a recipe and recommended it in one of your other notes from somebody who suggested mixing these natural remedies, or these natural herbs, excuse me, with a couple synthetic ingredients to make a black salve remedy. Then you try to do the snark, the big snark, the end snark, like I try to do. And I don't always get one in. Like today I don't think I will because I'm just tired of you. But, oops, my bad, play on word. Cutting progressively. Bwahahaha. Really? Well, here's the thing. If you're gonna monkey with somebody, and you're gonna snark on them like that, what you gotta snark on is somebody who didn't take 30 years of their life to try to improve on best health practices, and was willing to admit when something didn't work. Why don't you or snarking on an actual well-documented and still well-used style of surgery on cancers that many of us have been lucky enough to have performed on us, so that we have lived, I personally, almost 15 years hence. Okay? Because you sound like the idiot that you are. And I could have just spent the last, I don't know how many minutes, what is it, 16, 17 minutes. I probably wasted all this time because I could have just said this. Okay? This is a quote from Amy. My friend Amy, the Amy Kins. The elusive Amy Kins. I'm going to refer to her as the shadowy Amy Kins. She's kind of like the shadowy they. Okay? You know what she says this morning? Monika Milka is a twat.